actually pretty amazing. But anyway, I'm going to keep this really basic, and I'm just kind of go into the background, but I'm going to read a couple of scriptures that everybody probably already knows. And this is John 3:16. So, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. For God didn't send the Son into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world. As my father said when I was a kid, I did get beat a lot. When I was a young one, and the title of my message today is The Principal's Office. And when I was a kid, when I was going through school, I was no stranger to the principal's office. When I was a child, back when I was in first and second grade, I would get called to the principal's office quite often, and my parents would get called out to the school. And I was in a private school, so they would spank you when you were there, and I knew that was coming anytime I got called to the principal's office. So I did what any kid would do, getting called to the principal's office. I ran away. They would call me to the principal's office. I go hide somewhere in the school. I go hide in the closet or something. And they call my father out there to come and find me and everything. And I always grew up in a Christian family. My parents tried really hard to raise me in the ways of God, and always showed me to do the right thing. And there was a point in my life when I got in second and third grade. I went to a church service one time, and I was just in children's church, and the person that was speaking made me realize just how important I was to God. How much I matter. Everybody thinks it's like, oh, well, we need God, but God kind of needs us too. Because we're the ones kind of down here. We're the ones who have the ability to minister to other people, to witness to other people, to spread his word to other people. So when I was in fourth grade, my teacher, who at the time didn't know Christ, and I really had no idea how to witness to someone or tell someone about Jesus or anything. So I did the only thing I knew to do. I gave her my Bible. And this was a Bible that my parents gave me when I was a kid, and I kind of grew up with this Bible, and it meant a lot to me. So I figured, well, maybe if I give her this Bible, that'll be the best thing that I can do, just for me. So then as I got older, once I hit high school, it started going downhill again. I didn't so much start hanging around with the wrong crowd. I kind of was, the wrong crowd to hang around with. You hear about it. Oh yeah, they're hanging around the wrong crowd. Yeah, that was me. So I would hang around, people would hang around me, and I wasn't really a bad kid, but I was real mischievous. I would always, do a lot of things and try to get away with a lot of stuff, skipping class and, skipping school and doing things. And in our school, they had an intercom system in all the rooms. So periodically throughout the day, as you're sitting in class, the principal would come over the intercom. Beep, yes, do you have, so-and-so, and they say the name. Yes, would you please send them to my office? And anytime a student heard that, they knew they were in trouble. They knew that the principal found out something that they did, or, they did something wrong. You never really got called to the principal's office, for a good thing. How many people have? Anytime, everybody in here, well, just show of hands, realistically, who in here has ever been called into the principal's office because they did something wrong? Yeah, what's the first feeling that you feel when you go to the principal's office is what? Fear. You get that little acidic feeling in the pit of your stomach. Oh no, what do you do? And for me, I didn't just get called to the principal's office knowing what it was about. I had to go through a series of things. Oh man, I wonder which one he found out. Because you would be scared because you wouldn't want to go up there because just like in a court of law, if you admit guilt, then they let you off easy. And it was the same thing with the principal. But I didn't want to admit something that he didn't know and then get worse. Oh man, I'm going to the principal's office and now his force is going to hit me with even more now. So I walked in there and I got called in one day and everybody knew me as being a troublemaker. So I'm sitting in class. The little buzzer goes off. Yes, do you have Jonathan Jimlin? Yes, send them to the principal's office. And all the students are always like, he's going to the principal, what are you doing? And I walked out, all proud of myself. I'm like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. So I'm walking up there thinking to myself, okay, I skipped the other day. There's no way he could find out about that. I wonder if my friend ratted on me. I'm going to get him if he did. So I'm walking in there and I sit down. And he just stops and he looks at me, just like all principals do. They stop and they look at you. And they always ask you the same thing. Just like a cop does when he pulls you over. You know why I pulled you over? The principal asks you the same thing. You know why I called you up here? And I said, it could be a lot of reasons. And he's like, well, you know the specific reason. And I said, I don't know. I don't. I just try to cover myself. Forget it. I'm already going to get hit with it anyway. So I'll just, go with whatever I can. And he sat down and he just looked at me and he said, I know how you used to be when you were a kid. I know how, a good kid you were or how good a kid you tried to be. And I really had no idea what he was talking about. Then he took this Bible out of his desk, and he put it on the desk. And the Bible looked kind of familiar, but I didn't really think anything about it. And he started talking to me for a few more minutes, just, giving me a whole lecture. You're doing this wrong, you're doing this. And he was saying how if I carried this out of high school, because now I'm in my senior year in high school, and he tells me that if I carry this mischievous attitude, this I don't care, this I'll do whatever I want, hopefully I can get away with that attitude, that I'm not going to make it through college. I'm going to struggle throughout the rest of the course of my life. I'm not going to be able to make it through a career. I'm just going to be quitting everything, because all I'm ever trying to do is get by. Just do any little thing I can, any little bit I can, and just skate past and get under the radar. They said there was a point in your life when you were in 4th grade and you really had an impact on me and my family. And I'm thinking to myself, when I was in 4th grade, I had no idea what I was talking about. And he slid the Bible over across the desk to me. And he told me to open the Bible, and I opened it up, and it said, "To Jonathan, love Mom and Dad." And I looked back at him, and I realized what happened. His wife was my 4th grade teacher that I gave my Bible to when I was a child. And because I gave that Bible to his wife, she ended up coming to the Lord, and he ended up coming to the Lord when I was in 4th grade. And he looked at me and he said, "You had such an impact on my family, and it hurts me to see you behaving this way, because you were the one who helped steer us in the right direction in the first place." And at that point, everything kind of hit home, because I really realized just how important I was then. When I was a child and I heard that message and I started to realize how important I was for God, it was like kind of seeing, the plant grow when you plant a seed. You see the plant sprout up, and I realized I did this. I had an effect on this. This was the impact I had just by myself, and I was a child. I didn't even know what it meant, at the time. So he handed me the Bible, and he said, "I want you to walk back to the class, and this is yours. I wanted to give this back to you." So I walk out of the principal's office, and I'm just carrying this Bible now. And I walk back in the classroom, and all of a sudden, this troublemaker that walked back in carrying the Bible. Everyone was looking at me kind of funny, like, what's this guy doing with a Bible? And I was so proud of myself. I was prouder walking back in there with the Bible than I was prouder when I was walking out of there knowing I was in trouble. It's like, oh yeah, whatever, I'm in trouble, I don't care. But I felt so much better about myself. I sat down, I put the Bible on my desk, and I just left it there. And my teacher, who didn't like me at the time, was a Christian, and she knew the Lord. And suddenly her opinion about me changed. She started treating me a lot nicer, and I told her the story about how I got the Bible and what this did and everything. And this is kind of how God is with us. It's such a basic idea of salvation that He'll call us up, and we know we do things wrong sometimes. There's a lot of people that live their lives shady, and we try to get away with things. Even people that do know Christ, and God calls on us, and we're like, "Oh no, I'm in trouble." What did He find out that I did? And we walk in there, and instead of Him punishing us, because the principal didn't punish me, He said, "I know there's some things that you did, and I know about them, but I'm not going to punish you right now. Just know that I will. I might a little later, but I just want you to know that I'm proud of you, and that I'm thankful for what you did when you were in 4th grade, when you gave my wife that Bible." So I went into his office carrying all these problems, and I left carrying only one thing. We can go into God's office carrying all the problems and all the weights of the world that we might have, all the sin and all the things that we're struggling with, and we leave carrying only Him. He'll take everything else away. I'm going to read a verse or two before and after. This is John 14. And it said, "So when Moses was in the wilderness, he lifted up the bronze image with the serpent on the pole. Even so I must be lifted on a pole, so that everyone who believes in me will have eternal life." You guys all know that story in the Old Testament? But we still honor that now. Anytime you see an ambulance, you see the pole with the serpent around it. We're still honoring that, and I think that's awesome how we do that. And like I said, this is the first cruise I've been on, and I went out on the deck this morning, and I was just praying, and I was just looking out at the ocean. I'm like, it's all just so amazing. Everything's so beautiful that we're out here, and what better place to really meet God than while we're out admiring all the things that He made for us. Because He didn't create all this world just for Him, just so that He could look at it. He made it for us because He loves us. He's like, "Oh man, I want my creations to just admire everything that I've made for them." Yesterday, before we left port, we went through that little drill with the life jackets and everything. Making sure everybody needs to know how to do this and how to put this on. And a lot of people kind of take stuff like that for granted. Because if you think about it, if someone were to fall overboard, Who do you think would have more of a chance of surviving? Someone with a life jacket or someone without a life jacket? Someone with a life jacket, obviously. Because if you have a life jacket, then you don't have to sit there and struggle just to stay afloat. If you don't have a life jacket, now you have to focus on, all right, getting rescued and keeping yourself afloat and keeping yourself alive. Jesus is our life jacket. A lot of people think that, when I come to Christ, I'm not going to have these problems. It's going to just be like a pleasure cruise. I'm just going to enjoy all the commodities and all the luxurious things that I'm going to get to eat all the time. But what Christ really is, in that next verse, he said, God didn't send his son to the world to condemn it, but to save the world. That was his mission. Christ came here like on a rescue mission for all of us. And when we're drowning in this dark place of a world, because the world isn't getting any better. There's more and more worse things. You hear about all these terrible tragedies and all these terrible things happening. And Christ is the only thing that can save us from drowning. He is that life jacket for us. He wants to bless us and he wants to give us great things. Don't get me wrong, he has, and he's blessed me, and I'm sure he's blessed a lot of you. But his primary purpose is just to keep us afloat. Let's all stand. Let's all bow our heads. I'm just going to pray for a minute. I just want to open this up, and I thank God for the pleasure and the opportunity to be able to speak to all you guys, and I thank all you guys for coming and showing respect for this. But as I said, what better place really to meet Christ than while we're out here admiring all the things that he made for us. God wants to bless you, but more importantly, he wants to save you. He wants you to be saved. If you were out drowning in the ocean right now, would you not scream out for a life jacket? Would you not scream out for help? And God is screaming out to you saying, I want to throw you a life jacket. I want to save you. Let me save you. He cries out for that. That's why he died on the cross for us. Because he just wants so desperately to save your life. Would you say now, no, I don't want to be saved. I'd rather just risk my life. I want to just hold on to all the things I'm doing. I got called into the principal's office with all the terrible things following me around. You don't have to come to Christ clean. In fact, he wants you to come to him carrying all of your problems, because then he can take them from you. So if there's anyone here right now, with everyone heads bowed, everyone eyes closed, if there's anyone here now that wants to meet Christ, that wants to be saved, that wants that life jacket. It's not going to make your life so dramatically different. You don't have to change a million things. But if you just want to be saved, you don't want to drown, if you don't already have that life jacket that is Christ, I just want you to raise your hand right now and I'll pray with you. Praise you. We come on a cruise, we go on vacations for two reasons. One is to escape something, and the other is just to relieve stress. And God does both of those. Amen. Why not knock it all out at once? Praise you. Praise you. Praise you. If it's okay with everyone, I'd like to say the sinner's prayer corporately with everybody. If you would all just repeat after me. Praise you, Lord. Lord Jesus, forgive me of my sins. Come into my heart. I believe that you died for me. And that you rose again. Throw me a life jacket. Save my life. In Jesus' name. Amen. Thank all you guys for coming. I really enjoyed it, and I appreciate it. Y'all have a good rest of the cruise. Thank you.